What's up, everybody? We're back. It's Shot Take season. We've got a lot of Sorare stuff to talk about today. We're going to do some in-season tournaments. We're going to look at the rewards. TST is going to yell about some stuff. We're going to talk about how hard it is. We'll complain about that a little bit, too. But excited to be back. As always, presented, sponsored, and loved by Momentum Labs. So as we do our check-in, since you are paying the bills, John, how are we doing, man? How's everything going?
It's gone great. It's beautiful. My headphones are low. They keep yelling at me that I need to charge them. So maybe we'll get through this pod. But it's good to see the boys.
Yeah, good to have you back. Good to have you back. Jeb, how are we doing over there?
Doing good, just hanging on one day at a time here.
Good. Wow, Dad, sounded fucking bleak, man.
Life's busy, but
Yeah.
we're doing good. We're doing good. Don't worry too much.
Yeah, all right. TST, what's going on with you, man?
Man, Raptors are up 17 on the Bucks. One more day with student, 2 more days of work, and then I'm not working for a long, long time.
One more. Oh, why?
Parental leave, baby.
Oh, parental leave. They
We're
don't even
living
call it
in
paternity there. It's just parental.
Well, because I already did my paternity. Now I'm doing my parental.
What the fuck's parental leave?
Let me teach some Americans about the rest of the world and how they treat people when they have kids.
So how much more time? How much time do you get off for parental leave?
I'm gonna be off till April.
What's
what?
Do the math.
What is?
How do you? That's no wonder you guys don't get anything done over there. Holy cow!
How much time does mom get off?
So parental is one or the other. So
she's
mom's going back to work.
Wow, dude.
So mom's been off since December already.
Since December?
Yeah.
For a full year?
Well, not quite.
What is going on?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that technicality. You're right. It's been 11 months, prick.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I had 5 weeks off when she was born last April too. Fully paid.
This is breaking my brain.
So what's
actually?
Tell me some bad stuff about Canada, just so we can move on.
It's cold.
Well, they clearly never get anything done there.
It snowed here 2 days ago. Like snow on the ground snow. That's pretty bad.
It snows in a lot of places. That's not going to do it for me, dude.
Yeah, but a lot of places that it snows, like the Scandinavian countries, would also have this going on for them. So maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, but the Scandinavian countries are definitely cooler than Canada. I think we all agree upon that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Man, the milk comes in a bag. Thank you, Matthew. This is the stuff I was looking for.
I don't get it in a bag anymore, but I always forget that that's not a thing other places.
Yeah, and you drink your milk on a terrace. That's part of it too. All right, that's enough about that. This is an international show. It is an international show. Hey guys, Poker Pro, you keep talking about Top Shot, and I'm just gonna ban you, I think. So I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I said this last week. It's cool. The rookie stuff is there. The graphic stuff looks great. It was really cool that all the employees tweeted about how good it is. I'm excited. But that's the extent of how much we're going to talk about it, because we're going to talk about Sorare tonight. That is what the new Shot Tank format is. So couple of things. I think we should let's just talk about I don't know what to call it, contest structure. I feel like a common dialogue that's been happening, both like with us privately, but also, I've just been seeing it on Twitter and the Discord, is they're just like, hey, this is a little bit harder than it was last year. Do you guys have any I don't want to say takes on it, because I don't know, what were your thoughts on and again, we haven't even finished game week 3, right? We're in game week 3, so it's still pretty early. But how has both roster construction and let's start like this. Has anybody won anything yet?
I want a Marcus Morris senior card, which might actually be worth something because it could be a bottleneck, but that's about it.
If we start talking bottlenecks, I'm including you, Jeb, in the chat. I will ban you as well if we start talking bottleneck talk. TST, what did you won something, right?
I want a Paul George. Limited.
Oh, that's pretty good, dude. Limited?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to say common. I was going to make fun of that more. John, how about you? Have you won anything yet? Hey, John, I'm pretty sure your headphone's dead, baby.
No, he's muted.
Or he's just muted, so maybe.
No, it's just muted.
But I assume the microphone was connected to the headphones. That's where I went there. Yeah, I still can't hear you yet. I'll say I haven't won anything yet. I got really close with game week 1. Oh wait, John, are you back?
We're back, baby.
Okay.
Did you win anything?
There we go.
I did. I won a limited somewhere, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but I
good.
had a big limited win, dude. Josh Hart, baby, Josh Hart.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's not bad.
That's pretty good. Josh Hart plays. He plays. I haven't won anything yet. I don't. But have you guys been seeing a lot of chatter around that, or at least noticing it while you've been building your lineups, like that? That it's just gotten more competitive. I guess that's the better way to say it. But I don't know. What do you?
One of my biggest gripes is that Giannis sucks this year, and so
Yeah, that's hurting
he's
me.
really tanking. I'm not gonna say that I'm ready to blame the platform yet because he's really tanking a lot of my freaking champion lineups. But
yeah, and as
yeah.
TST said too, right? So the Raptors right now are up 107-85, and you're like, oh, I'm sure Giannis is still getting there though, and he's got 16-4 right now, which is 2 more points than what Malik Beasley has. So yeah, it is a tough scene for Giannis right now. Though Pascal Siakam's heating up in the second half, and we love to see that. Yeah, that is tough. So okay, that's more of your performers. Your card performances dipping more so than like the contest. That's what you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't even a shot at you. I was just
I have admittedly not been as in the weeds on the new contest structure and stuff, and I did just anecdotally text you guys the other night. Man, it is harder to win on Sorare this year. So I think that about kind of sums up the general public's. But at the same point, I think it's a positive thing. But maybe that's where we can kind of talk about.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a tricky needle to thread. I'll let other people share their thoughts. The one thing I will say is, John, like you said that to us, I swear to God, I've gotten like 5 different messages from people being like, holy shit. Like I'm used to winning Dante DiVincenzo brothers card, like his brother's card. Like I'm used to winning something, and now that's not happening anymore. What about Jeb or TST, whoever wants to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like especially at the beginning of last year, I could kind of just stumble into at least like a tier 5 limited or something like that. But yeah, I think it's because the prizes they're giving out less, and I feel like now that there are more cards in circulation, it's a little easier for people to build like their optimal lineups. And caps are all wonky right now.
Yes.
And I think that's the other reason too. Caps are super wonky, and it's like, okay, if you don't have a Jordan Poole or you don't have like Malcolm Brogdon, or I'm trying to think, there's a couple guys.
No, those are good examples though.
Yeah, their caps are super low compared to like what their floor is, and so that just makes things pretty wonky.
Yeah, I totally agree. TSC, what about you?
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on is like the cap thing right now is like, I don't know that we need to go crazy right now unless you actually were like chasing those players. And I don't even think any of them have hit crazy. Like Poole hasn't gone absolutely nuts, but there is a lot of these like caps of 5s, even of like players that are like strongly in the rotation. And that's like what Courtside's talking about right here is like people are fitting in like 2 MVP quality players in contender. But this year, the biggest thing I noticed just is like, if all 5 of your guys don't hit, like you miss. Whereas last year, I feel like if one of my guys didn't hit, I still was ending up with a tier 4 or 5. And I think that's like a huge difference. And like in the end, I don't think it matters that much, like getting those those T4s, 5s. But I think it was just something for you to like kind of watch your lineup later in the week, like a little more. So it like had you kind of like having some sort of a sweat, even if it was worth like $3 in the end. And just like being able to open something, I think is a big thing. And I'll go on my common rant later, but like the fact that there's only one common competition, like that leans towards that too. Like people only get to open that one card versus like, let's see what I can do with different things.
Yeah, I don't have the same. Well, yeah, we'll save the common conversation. I think it's John, I don't know if you feel this way, but it does feel it feels like it's getting a little bit closer. And I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing, to just like straight up DFS, where that is what NBA DFS is, especially like sometimes you can find these sweet spots, right? Where it's a 4-game slate. You don't need to get everything right. You need to get most of the stuff right, but you don't need to get everything right. But this, with it being not being cumulative, right? You just need to get like the highest performer or the highest performance from their game week. You kind of gotta hit everything. And last year we didn't see that as much because of how many rewards they were giving out. And this year you do. And I for me personally, and I know it's only a couple game weeks in, so it's probably too early to even have a strong opinion about it. It's not bothering me. It's just like, oh, I should probably make a better lineup. Like that's how I'm internalizing it so far. Like I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this makes sense that it didn't win anything because Zion didn't do well, or my value play didn't match the other value play that took off. So it's not like, I don't know. I could see this getting to game week 15 though, right? And if it's still this, then I do wonder. I'm like, oh, do I lose interest a little, or am I as excited about it as I am right now? But I think again, I don't know if, like John said earlier, I'm not sure if that's like platform related or if that's just building better lineups.
I mean, I still think it's a really like awesome sweat because given the amount of like work you have to put into it, right? Because like, I mean, I don't know, we draft a million teams every night, and like at the end of the night, I'm always still checking my Sorare team, like seeing what's going on, scrolling through the lineups, like seeing how players did, seeing how close I am to the next tier, whatever. And like, I don't know, it's just like it's still pretty fun to see like what's going on with it. And I feel like part of it is it's maybe going back to the conversation about differentiating between the champion and the contender tiers again, where it's like, you know, it's easier to get a reward in the contender now because there's like I forget what the percentage, but there's more percent to the rewards there, right? And so it's almost like, well, if you want to field a good champion team, then you're probably going to be like needing to be pretty invested, not necessarily financially, but from like a projection standpoint, from like a buy-in players that are good value, like whatever, like having a pretty big collection, stuff like that, because you're probably just going to be drawn dead a little bit to the X amount of people that are really churning through that and are staying on top of everything and putting in like really optimal lineups. So it might just kind of separate like the hardcore versus the casual, and where if you are taking a more casual approach and you're not wanting to like grind it crazy, then maybe it's like, okay, well, let me focus on the contender first, see if I can sneak in a better lineup here and then go to the champion. I don't know. It could be interesting that way.
Well, I think there's one more layer. Also, I do agree with Patrick. Patrick's saying I still think Sorare has a lot of room to run for us casuals. Not so daunting. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's not nearly as daunting as like the night to night. I do think like one other caveat of comparing year 2 to year 1 is there's just like people have more information readily available to them, and not just like Twitter updates, but you know, obviously presented by Momentum Labs. You get Sorare data running info out. And if there's like, I know a lot of people who played the Sorare football game or baseball are already aware of some of this stuff. But I think if you were just like a NFT bro or a fantasy basketball guy, maybe you weren't aware of all this stuff. You get the Sorare NBA Jet, right? You've got Billy Jackson's top tier projections. So there's like more stuff. So it forces everybody to get a little bit sharper. So maybe you have less people just kind of like blindly clicking week to week and are investing some time and maybe even some cash to like, you know, make smarter decisions with their lineups too. So that could be a part of it.
Yeah. And I think also on top of that, like I was just thinking about it in the beginning of the season. It was like, okay, first of all, I forgot what week it started that like Sorare actually started, but we missed the first couple of weeks. So players already kind of had a normalized cap. And then on top of that, your collection was kind of growing with everyone else's. Like there weren't a lot of people out there who had like, you know, 60 different cards where they could like a lot of people's lineups were kind of limited. And as a result, I think there was a lot more uniqueness there. So you like, to your point, you didn't have to hit on everything because it's like, oh, if I played, you know, Damian Lillard last year, there's probably only 15 people that played him. As opposed to now, there's probably like hundreds of people that threw him in their lineup because he's like the de facto higher cap player they have.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Any like real concerns about any of this, or is it more of just an observation a couple of game weeks in?
I think it's good, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's better to try to push people this way than to like where we got when. I mean, I don't know how about you guys, but for me, like towards the end of the season last year, I was just like, just kind of ripping open, seeing whatever I got, and then being like, okay, we'll just add this to the collection and fire up another one this week, you know. So I don't know. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, and I might be in the minority, but I'm fine losing instead of winning like Eddie House. You know what I mean? Like I don't need somebody who's inactive. I don't need like a tier 5 that I'm not going to be able to play unless it's in like an underdog. I'm not trying to flip it for like $1.50. Like I'm fine being like, man, I wish I did better. I wish I did better.
That's where we differ clearly, because that's my whole, business model over here. I to TST's point though, like it is kind of a bummer not to just be able to like, open up a couple of cards. I think like even like when like there are times where I did super well, like even in like a champion lineup and I got like a rare, and there were other times that I got a tier 5. But it's still kind of fun just being like, oh my gosh, what could I get? And looking him up and seeing what he was worth or what lineup you could plug him in or anything like that.
Yeah, that's fair. TSC, do you want to talk about the common contest a little bit before we switch over to some of the the in-season tournament stuff?
So do I ever? So one thing that pisses me off is that we only have the one common contest.
Yeah.
And like, I think that, well, that's for people that have more limiteds, right? Like if you have less limiteds, there's actually more contests available to you.
Right.
But like, I don't understand why they wouldn't give us like at least one more contest as well, that like last year, that only gives out common cards. It's not affecting supply or anything. It's giving another way for people to play. I don't understand why we shouldn't have access to that one as well, because like you're basically already proving that you're playing the other ones.
Some people have access to other ones.
Yeah, there's 3 common contests, but you can't see them if you have 5 limited. And then there's also, well, yeah, so this is the other thing. So now there's this season tournament one, but because we don't have access to those other common ones, you can't ever win a common tier 1 because it's not in the prize pool. So if you can't ever win a common tier 1, basically you can't even compete in 2 tournaments, and we don't have enough cards to even like compete in that one versus people that are just starting out and like, wait, that's great for them or whatever. But I think that having that other one, just allowing people to, open those cards and, play in those contests would be better. Like we already removed all our cards, so we're all starting at the same level. A new user that doesn't have it would still have that extra contest that they had if there was 2 here. And because that in season, can you win cards in the common one? I'm not sure. In the other ones, there's no cards. Maybe there's common ones in the.
Yeah, there's cards in the common.
Okay. But is that weekly or that's only at the end anyways? I think that's still only at the end, right? So it's not like you're collecting cards as you go that can go. Because like people that haven't been doing any trading in, I really would tell you to go try to make 2 common lineups right now that are any somewhat competed. However, what you need to do is you need to trade your players in when they move up tiers. So like if you look at who's in tier 1, so I just did this while we were on stream right now. I was looking at who of my players are in tier 1 now, and Cam Thomas is. So I had a Cam Thomas common, so I traded him in for Kevin Durant. Wow. So now I have like a Shea and a Kevin Durant that I could actually roll out in one lineup or 2 different ones. Yeah, I just think that they've just like limited. And like I had a lot of fun, obviously, playing the common tournament last year. My favorite contest to cash in last year was the common one, cashing a limited in that. I felt
that's pretty hard about to do that. Yeah.
It's like you're playing against everyone with so many, like all the cards.
Great comment by Courtside saying TST is just really trying to get more luggage this year. Hey, can you? So I wholeheartedly agree with this. Like, this is my biggest case for just more tournaments in general. It's because it's like I don't want to put in training lineups. Is there any? Because I also saw Reese's comment. He said there's no downside to more of these tournaments. I can't figure one out either. Is there a downside that we're like not seeing? Because I'm trying to figure out why they would not do more of them.
From commons or for
Yeah,
all?
because no, just comments. Like the other ones make sense to me. I get that it probably is not for like the way that they do reward distribution and the minting of the cards as rewards and stuff like that. They can't do like 7 of these tournaments. But for the common ones, I'm like, is this really moving the needle that much? You know?
I mean, I guess maybe they're like hoping that it like people level up and like if there's no commons, they're like, well, I guess I'll have to buy limiteds and do like or
but
like
you know what I would.
I'm gonna, but you have access to them until you have those limiteds. So
I'd go the other way too, though. Like because if you are, if I can only play one tournament right every time, and every time I'm winning like a tier 4 or tier 3 or whatever, I don't think that makes. I don't think my brain is like, you know what, dude, I fucking figured this game out. Like I need to start spending money. Give me a couple more common contests that now expands or doubles, triples my shots at winning something, and then I'm like, oh, dude, I fucking figured this game. I'm a Siri, shut up. Like I'm a champion. I'm gonna go buy cards now. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't figure out why they wouldn't do more.
Maybe to that point, the only reason I can think of is maybe they're like, oh, we don't want people to like be satisfied with like if we give them like 3-4 common contests, you like that gives you a little like sweat to some degree. But if you just have one, you're like, oh, I need more of this. Like this is so much fun. Let me go buy it limited so I can get some more, and then it snowballs from there.
I would say like Mike's argument is the counter to that, and that like you'd feel good about it. Like that's why there's free contests on DraftKings and FanDuel that win money. Like someone hits in one of them, they're like, whoa, what do I do now?
Well, it's like UTST chipping away $1 at a time in those free contests.
But the only other like argument I could see on their side of things is that if they only allow access to the people that don't have limiteds in those commons, those people are building better common collections. Therefore, they're at an advantage to win the limiteds in those contests. And then they're more likely to maybe move up afterwards. But that is like
that's small brain. That's affecting 4 people. You know what I mean? Like that's not making any noticeable change. It's like, oh, dude, that's great. That one dude that has SGA, Giannis, and Tatum is going to now spend $8 on a Josh Hart. Like if that is really the case, that is real small brain thinking, I think. Because that's. I mean, sorry, I'm not saying what you're saying is dumb, TSC.
No, I am the one that is upset about the comments.
Yeah, I just don't. And this is also coming from someone who does not give a shit about the comments. Like it's the last thing that I click. Like I really don't care about it at all. But yeah, the more the merrier with this stuff. All right, should we dive into some of this in-season stuff? I'll be honest. I missed a lot of the in-season announcements because I was traveling for a wedding and then had to go listen to a bunch of dumb people from New York explain why they couldn't serve jury. So I don't think I'm like as up to date as maybe you guys are. But I figured I figured we could do a little scrolling and talk a little bit about the in-season tournament because that starts this week, which I'm excited about. I'm jacked up for it. I don't know where you guys are at, but I'll share screen here. And then I don't know if anybody, do you want to share some like big picture thoughts about what they like laid out before we break it all down?
Well, first thing is you got to buy some freaking cards, right?
We do got to buy some cards. We got to buy some cards.
Yeah, I did think it was interesting that they required you to, have cards of the new season. I mean, I don't completely disagree with it. I kind of get it, but also it's kind of I don't know. It makes sense to me. I don't know what else they would have done differently. Like it makes perfect sense, but also I wasn't like thrilled about it. I guess I was just kind of like, yeah, I guess that's cool.
Yeah, I weirdly totally was fine with it. I was like listen, if anybody from Sorare is watching this, just 1, 2, 3 earmuffs. But in the large scale of like Ponzi-nomics that we've encountered over our 3 or 4 years streaming, I mean, this is pretty low on the list. Like, I was like, oh yeah, dude, this is hashtag utility. I was totally fine with it. It didn't bother me at all. That they were like, yeah, dude, listen, we want to juice up year 2, want to get people excited a little bit. So it didn't bug me too much. And I that's not someone that owns a single year 2 card. I have to buy some between now and Friday, but that was an interesting wrinkle.
Yeah.
Anything else like big picture?
I like that they released like the schedule, because that was the other thing. I started to like just dabble with it, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was just doing even the common contest, and I was like, man, I don't have anyone good to do this. So I guess I'm gonna have to just do the regular common contest this first week, because my in tournament like team is not going to be competitive.
Right.
And I think it'll be very interesting, because we were just like I mentioned before, like one of the things that I think made this contest harder was like now a lot of people have like massive collections of cards and like a lot of different options, and now you're limiting that even more with this in-season tournament. So I'm very curious. I feel like I've been thinking about it, and I'm really considering zagging and just focusing on the non-in-tournament ones, because I feel like you have to have like the perfect lineup to win these things.
Look at Jeb, game theory Jeb right here, being like everyone's focusing on this one, so I'm going to be a limited contender champion here. I actually, I mean that's pretty sharp, because I do think a lot of people are going to do that, unless a lot of people are thinking that they don't want to buy year 2 cards, and then you gotta zag to the zig, you know.
I got a double zag.
Yeah, but
yeah,
then at least you're not competing against those percentages anymore.
Yeah, that's
those
true.
That did use.
But or you could just focus on the common contest, because everyone's definitely going to be putting their comments
So
in
now
there.
everyone's going to be putting their comments over there. But for the first week, you put your comments back in the other one. Get a better comment, because it's not every week that counts, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Fade the early weeks, people.
Courtside too. Another that we should bring that up as we start breaking it down a little bit more. So the 140 MVP cap. So we're used to the champion contest having a 120 MVP. They've doubled that up. So yeah, as Courtside was saying, you can basically fit 3 or 4 MVPs in that. Does that mean? Do you think this is just going to be big bags only competing for these contests?
I definitely think that's going to be like, those are going to be the people at the top. And that's why I need to read more about it and really dive in, because yeah, the more I like just thought about it, I think I was doing it, maybe it was last night or 2 nights ago or something. I just started to really mess with my lineups and like the cards I had. And I have a couple like series. I went and bought a Maxi from season 2, because I was like, he's going to pop off, and I think he's just way too cheap. He's gone up a decent amount since I bought him. So thankful, I'm glad I did that. But like I have some season 2 cards, so I feel like I could build a somewhat decent lineup. But yeah, I don't know. It does seem like it does, like Courtside's pointing out, it just does seem like the people that have like these massive bags will have just a distinct advantage over everyone.
Yeah, it does feel that way. That's not going to stop me from trying to do it. I actually realized that I had clicked out of the contest block, so I was switching it around, and then I saw John shut his camera off, and I was like, what if we just blow John up here a little bit? Just let him be as big as possible. I'll share screen again, so that that bit won't last too long. Here we go. Let me switch back with him, so he's at the bottom. All right, so just let's break this down a little bit. 100,000 in total cash rewards. Let's actually, before we break down any of the structure, I just want to go through the cash rewards, because I actually think they did like a solid job with this. So in the beginner tournament, which is like actually, you know what? I take it back. We should break down what the contests are. So they have a beginner one, which is just commons. They have an advanced, which is limited and rare, which are 3 cards are needed from this series. I thought it was actually going to be 2, but it's 3. And then the expert, we've got super rare and unique. They also have cash rewards. They have 60K for the advanced and 40K for the expert. Are we cool with the combination of limited and rares?
No.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. Just split it up.
Okay. Yeah. Just cause.
Just
Well,
because.
just because I think
don't
it
know.
once again it goes literally back to what we were talking about, just that courtside brought up. It's like, all right, just once again, like if you're a person who has like a limited like budget, and even if you have like enough limited players to like build up a pretty competitive lineup, now you're competing with guys with the big bags who might have like multiple MVPs and rares, and they're going to blow you out of the water every time just
So
because
do
that
you think
percentage
it
difference.
should have been like 50K for rares, 10K for limited, or like 40 and 20, something like that? It should have been split that way.
Yeah, I think so, because it just would
40,
have made
40,
it more.
20?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just would have made it more competitive, and I feel like that just makes it more like fun. Because I think it's all to some degree. I don't think it's like a straight up like pay to play here, but
Yeah.
like it definitely isn't like the best like lineup is necessarily going to win. Like there's a lot of contributing factors here.
Well, once
Yeah.
you combine in the new cap thing too, like
Yeah,
you're
that's what
saying,
I'm
like
saying. Yeah,
once you add in the new cap thing, like you're changing like like it's not just that you need a rare collection, you need you need multiple top end rares, and then also like on the side you're not using like able to use that for rare champion that week either, so it's like, like if you have one rare MVP, you're not competing in this.
It's funny because you
Yeah.
do have to make this decision game week 1 or like for the in-season tournament. You have to make your decision now of like how you're going to approach this. But I'm very excited after the first in-season tournament to kind of see where people were playing their cards. Like how many people were approaching it like Jeb being like, listen, I can make a really good rare contender lineup that's not going to be able to compete here. So do I just focus on that? And I want to see like how many people actually compete in it. It's funny. I kind of like that they have combined it because it makes people who feel like they're like, hey, listen, I didn't spend 4 ETH on my gallery, but I can still, if Kaminga goes for 60 and so like you can still compete. I don't mind it so much. I do wish there was almost a fourth. If they were going to do it like this, I almost wish there was one other one that was like limited only. So I guess if I'm saying it like that, there should just be limited, rare, and then super rare and unique. But
so the other thing I was thinking was like, why still have 3, but do common and limited together, rare by itself.
Yeah.
And then go 20, 40, 40. And then like your advantage of limited is that they have a boost. Like they do that in the other competition, the like half competition that we don't have access to because we have too many limited cards.
Right.
We did baseball as well. I played that one before.
They did in football too when Premier League
Yeah.
started.
So like your limiteds get an extra boost, but like you're playing with the commons too. Like I would do it that way.
Yeah. And then to the point of the boosted cap, someone who has a pretty solid limited collection might make it to competing because they have a common MVP as well. So they can squeeze in a perfect lineup in that sense. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So just real quick, beginner, the eligibility is common cards only, same structure cap with 140 plus an MVP. The advanced, we talked about the mix in rare and limited. You need 3 cards from this year. Same thing with the cap.
It's a much bigger cap.
What's up?
It's usually 120, right?
You're absolutely right, John. John, actually, you know what? Let's go back. Let's get John full screen again. John, just tell us a little bit about where you've been the last few minutes. How are things going?
Well, it appears that my wife has found a baby lizard in our house.
That
she's currently not wanting me to take care of it. She just wants to watch it right now.
Oh, okay. Well, did you think someone was murdered? Is that why? Was it like I gotta shut my camera off and just save the world?
I thought that was a different baby announcement here live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was,
but yes, John,
like,
we
come up here and take care of this, and I'm like, well, yeah.
I'm busy breaking down NFTs, babe. Yeah, we did talk about how like you basically that's kind of what the last conversation was, is that you kind of have to, you got to have a couple of MVPs to actually compete in this.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go through this real quick, just in case, the listeners, the viewers don't know. So, games that it's going to be during the the in-season tournament. So it happens from November 3rd to the 28th, only on the games that are in-season tournament games. Same cumulative scoring your top. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not the same. Cumulative scoring your top 5 scores out of the competition's 7 game weeks. So top 5 scores, 7 games week will be scored cumulatively during your final competition ranking. Scoring's the same. And then the rewards. Let's get into the rewards. Prizes will be rewarded at the end of the group stage, which is game week 11, based on the manager's cumulative score across the 7 game weeks. And then we've got the breakdown here. So 1st to 10th, NBA Rivals closed beta invitation. How about that? This is just for the beginner. And then top 5% tier 1, 5 to 25 tier 2, 25 to 50 tier 3. Let's get into the advanced. All right. So first place is 6K, baby. Also some signed merch. Second place, 3,500 with a signed basketball. Third place, 2,650 with a signed basketball. And then again, all the way. So the top 460 finishers win straight cash, homie. And then the expert, 12K up top for first, and so on. So that is
how much are they going to sell the bags for?
How much are they going to sell the bags for? Oh, the merch bags?
The rare bags, yeah. Like how much are they going to? Are they going to get those too? The merch pack? Jeez. It's way better than the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hope it's way better than the playoffs. If you guys listen to anything I said, I hope it's way better than. I mean, it's so rare, not you guys. I do.
We don't listen to you.
No, they do. I think this is pretty solid. I enjoy this. I think I like that it's mostly cash. They're not just like unloading a bunch of new cards that normally wouldn't be minted / auctioned or whatever. How we feel okay about what the rewards look like?
Yeah, this is.
So it's a different. It's going to be a different. You can enter a different lineup every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't lock in the same lineup for the whole thing.
No.
Yeah,
Looking at these
looking at
these prizes right now on the advanced one makes me want to do it, even though I had told myself that I was out.
Yeah.
That I was gonna
same
pivot.
here.
But looking at this, I'm like,
$6,000 is a lot of money.
And like even like that little like 41 to 60 range, like 250, like I could, I could probably whip together something with around that amount, and then I think cards too.
I think this goes back to roster construction too, or gallery construction, right? Like you both, TSC. Oh wait, John, do you have a Giannis too? Do you have a rare Giannis, or SGA is your best rare?
No, I have a SGA rare and Giannis limited.
I think if you have a legit rare MVP and like a solid second guy too, then you should really be considering doing.
Well, that's not Giannis in this case.
Yeah, I was gonna say too bad a solid second guy isn't Giannis.
No, he's your second guy. Giannis is your second guy. You need Scotty Barnes and Siakam. If you can roll both of those guys out.
I'll give you an example of how Giannis is not your second guy. He is my rare champion MVP, and he is currently 3rd in scoring on my team. And
he'll figure it out.
See, I don't think anyone's going to feel bad for you for owning a Giannis rare. I just don't think this is the wrong audience for it. You know what I mean? I can introduce you to some people in like what's this, Spicer, who, I don't know, somebody that goes nuts on Twitter for so rare. I'll introduce you to them. I guess it does suck because you spent money on it and he's not performing. But they're going to turn around. They're going to fire Adrian Griffin soon. Bring back, Matty Harrison, Giannis cap of 35 coming soon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe in further game weeks he'll be super valuable all of a sudden. I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll figure it out. But yeah, it has been super rough for Giannis right now.
Meanwhile, the Celtics are
saying you can only use your MVP 4 times.
Say that again.
What's courtside saying? You can only use your MVP 4 times
because they only play that many games in the group stage.
Yeah.
I would really think that.
Yeah, I like that. There's a lot to this, though. I think it would have been pretty easy for them to just be like, click the same thing 5 times, lock it in, or whatever, and that's it. I like that there's a little bit of thought and game theory that's going to go into it.
Because I think the easy thing they could have done is just like have a month long and just use the champion or contender results that you're already doing. So doing it this way, like it allows them to have another contest. Like Mike, you're always saying we need more contests. Like that's like important. So like this will spread things out. It'll be.
And you know who's happy about this? The NBA. Like the NBA is so thirsty for anything.
Tweet about it.
Yeah, I mean they're so hungry for literally anything that has to do with this in-season tournament. They want it to be cool so badly, and And that tweet was actually, I know that normally we're used to everyone jerking off every time oh, yeah, Adam Silver was like, I know that's how we usually act every time. And so it was, everybody did it again today, but this time it was about Sorare. But they want this to be successful. So it was cool to see them push it a little bit. I don't know. I like it. I'm excited. I now feel pressure because I'm going to be there to have like a good sweat for the finals, like, is that a business expense?
I mean, we could figure out a way to make it a business expense.
Should we make a Shark Tank lineup? Like, we can have we got an SGA, we have a Giannis.
Ooh.
Jeb, we can use a couple of your Dante DiVincenzo's.
Yeah, I got all the fillers. When you're like, oh, I have 9 cap left. What am I gonna do? I have I'll open my trench coat and be like, oh, I've got all the.
But this won't even be going on at that time.
It doesn't end during the finals?
It says that it ends.
It ends before
the group stage.
The group stages.
Oh, what are we doing? Why doesn't that include the finals?
All right, time to zag.
Well,
no, they'll probably do.
They could do something else.
That's
something else. But this is the first thing.
They should
group stage.
It says at the bottom, road to the finals. So
we'll read in between the lines here a little.
I will say, if
the road, boys.
If they do something separate, I hope it's that you have to lock it in for all 3 games. So you have to project who wins the semifinals. Like, I like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Zach, you won't be banned. Zach, you can stay forever. We appreciate you being here. This is very much directed at Poker Pro, Eric.
Mike, have you looked at the odds of the tournament in general? Have you put anything to?
No, I know.
But that way.
No, that's where I won't.
Not going to be highly favored.
What did you say, John?
I'm guessing the Bucks will not be highly favored.
No, I would have bet on it. I remember I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and I think Joe House was talking about how the Kings were like a good bet, and I was like, "Oh, this is my line." Like, I was wondering what my line was. That's too far for gambling, and it's in August or September, placing bets on the in-season tournament.
But
Mike, it's November.
Summer League games,
November.
But you won't bet on.
I didn't bet on any Summer League games. I know.
You threw some money in that parlay we put in.
Okay, all right, but that wasn't like, you're right, I did. I would bet on it when I get there. I'm not interested in being like, oh, dude, the Wizards have a good path to the finals. Like, I don't want to do that at all. It is time to get a rare Anthony Davis, though. I am thinking about it. I have a lot of good second options, like Zion and Maxey. I feel like are going to be in really good cards this season, but I do need an MVP.
I think Maxey is one of the best cards you can get. I feel like he's this year's SGA and so rare.
He's great. I mean, his cap's going to spike in a week.
His cap's already high. His cap's already in the 40s. Or no, 38?
No, 38.
But he's going to be a 50. He's going to
again, though?
No, I don't think it's gone up yet.
It was 38 last game week, so.
But yeah, he is going to be a superstar. Bodavine's here. We're just going to fire off all of these comments here in the last second. Good to see you, buddy. All right. I don't know. Anything else about the NC? I feel like that we covered most of it, right?
Yeah. I think it'll be really interesting. It'll be really interesting to watch the numbers of the number of people entering, and just tracking that, just kind of seeing what lineups you're going against after week 1. Because you do only need 5 of your best lineups. So like TST said, I feel like punting this week's kind of a no-brainer.
Can we look at the schedule for the first week?
Yeah, I can pull that up. Also, Maddie, yes, the Celtics won 155 to 104. And honestly, real quick, only one person on the Celtics scored over 20 points, and that was Tatum, who went for 30 and 12, which is wild.
Pritchard put up 37 on Sorare.
Yep, 15, 9, and 4, baby. Peyton Pritchard's he's a cooker. He's out there cooking.
Pacers are bad.
Yeah, well, no Halliburton too, so that was part of it. Wait, where's the schedule here? Oh, is it just the graphic you shared, Jeb?
Oh yeah.
All right, hold on. I'll share the schedule. Let's see. Did Tatum score above 30 so rare points? Yeah, he did. He scored 30 actual points.
For the record, Maxey has a cap of 42 now.
Shut the fuck
Already.
up. All right, moving on.
Hater. What a hater.
All
I
right, here
have
we-
a Maxey rare. That's why I'm aware.
We love Maxey. All right, here we go. Is this what you were talking about? This is what you want to see?
What
Yeah.
the hell is election day?
Oh yeah, no games on Tuesday. Well, the only reason I knew about that is because if I had called the jury duty, I had Tuesday off because no jury duty on election day. Also, the
Damn.
Pelicans were getting just smashed, and now are coming back, and SGA is not doing well. This is going to be a bad so rare night. I mean, underdog.
What are
night,
we
I think.
electing?
Midterms, baby. No. I think it's
Governors
primaries.
and shit, mayors.
Yeah, primary
Who
stuff.
knows?
Oh, Treaticus. Treaticus.
We're electing Treaticus.
You gotta tap the vote. Get it let the vote. Anyways, all right, yeah. Somebody break this down. Who was excited to see this? Somebody break this down.
I wanted to see it. I didn't need to break it down. But let's talk about the big players. Like we got first game week, we got Luka there. We got Jokic.
Mhm.
We got Giannis. Not that it matters. We got Shea. We got Halliburton. They've got Steph. We got a lot of the top. Donovan Mitchell.
Mhm.
DeMar
That's a tough-
DeRozan.
Tough game week. Can you
Dyke.
slide over?
Slide over.
Yeah. Like who are we? I guess we should have gone with who are we missing? We're missing the Phoenix guys. We're missing Maxey and Embiid.
Oh yeah.
Missing
Sabonis.
Sabonis
Are
and
Dallas
Fox.
and Denver ever on the same
Wemby.
bye?
Washington doesn't matter. Yeah, first game week's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
It is gonna-
super tough.
And it's also the least teams too, so it's like shit.
I actually just can't play it because it's got no Zion and no Maxi. So
Yeah, but you got limiteds, no?
no, not really. I'm a rare bro now.
Mike's moved up in the world a bit.
No
Yeah.
Tatum, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
No Trey. No Mark Williams. None of my guys.
So you're fading this week, eh?
Yeah, I think we're all fading it this week. It seems like.
Yeah, I'll pick it up in game week 6.
Game week 9 is a pretty good one. If you have
Oh, shit.
Oh wow.
So Cleveland, Halliburton. So
Oh.
Donovan Mitchell, Halliburton, the Laker Bros, and then you got
AD.
Orlando, Philly, Phoenix, Portland, Toronto, and Utes.
Yeah, that's a good one to target. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the easiest week.
I
But
think
you
this.
know, you
yeah,
know
I think
what? It doesn't matter that much because because it's like it's your best scores. It doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you do against the other people that week. If that doesn't outscore what like the
Right.
other people did in their 5 game weeks, that doesn't count. So it's not as like of an advantage. It's just like that week. If you need to put out a score, you need to. But like if you beat a bunch of people by 50 points that week, it doesn't mean anything if they're just dropping that week and using their other weeks anyway.
So if I don't submit a lineup for game week 4 or 5, obviously, I can still compete just by doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Or
For
Yeah.
sure.
okay.
yeah.
I would say it's pretty bad advice to not play a week.
Well, if I don't have any of the guys, none of my guys are playing.
Well,
Wouldn't
you
it
gotta
make-
put a lineup in
No,
there.
I think
You have
I
to
think the
buy
opposite.
season 2 anyways, Mike.
Fuck off, everybody.
I feel like it totally makes sense to like skip out on like this first game week. Let other
Makes
people
zero
fire.
sense to skip out on a week. You want as many weeks as possible. You want as many scores as possible.
Okay, but if your lineup, like in Mike's case, like,
Sean,
none of
hear
his-
me out, bro.
None of his guys, none of my guys are really like.
You guys
are
have
even
to
in
buy
the game.
season
Get
2
a better
anyways.
guy. Get more guys.
No.
Enter lineups, bro. Max enter. And someone that max enter the double dribble, you're gonna leave 1 out of like 10 game weeks on.
That's a
Entered,
good
Mike?
point, Mike.
I tell you what, if anybody watching this, send me your cards. I will give away whatever we win. All right, send me your cards. We'll make
Ooh, communism.
yeah. Bring back communism. That's a take I have. Everybody, send me your cards, and we'll pull them together. We'll, and if we win, I'll get a tattoo or something, and then we'll still give it away. But the tattoo will include every name that participated in sending me cards.
And it will be on a body part that is visible on stream at all times.
My throat. I'm gonna be like, what was that guy on the Mavericks? Stevenson?
Birdman?
Birdman?
No, not Birdman. Stevenson. He had the Abraham Lincoln on his fucking Adam's apple. He was on the Mavericks. He's real bad.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Also, we tried to do something similar, I think, for All-Star Weekend, and we sucked. We didn't do good.
Yeah, but we've learned from that. We're gonna do way better this time.
That's true. We've gotten better. I don't know. Anything else? Anything else so rare related we need to hit? I've been having fun. I'm not like, I know there was some concern that we talked about it earlier, that it's getting a little bit harder, but it's been good to have the fantasy basketball sweat back. Between that and the amount of drafts that I've done on Underdog, I mean, it's not John Boy level, but it is John Boy light.
And I'm Mike Zakarian light.
Yeah,
you just have to get through the first couple weeks where no projection sites know what's going on, and then you start to figure it out. Like finally today, they had Scotty Barnes projected accordingly, like he's playing well, and it's like, okay, finally.
Wow.
I had to tell you, it's got to go well tonight for me.
Mike, I can't believe I missed it when you said what sucks about Canada, and I didn't mention that I can't play Underdog.
Yeah, there you go. That would have been good. Sign up using promo code HOLD. $500 plus bonus match up to $500.
Yeah, I'm having so much fun with So Rare. Like to the point where I'm starting to really feel like I gotta dive super deep into this stuff again. Like just not text my girlfriend back for 5 hours type of dive.
Empty the Las Vegas ticket piggy bank, baby. It's time to buy.
I like how Jeb started off saying that he's just taking it day by day. It just ended with, I'm getting pretty deep into So Rare.
Well, yeah, so I gotta take it day by day, John. The caps change all the time. The prices change all the time.
Anything we need to promote? TSC, you got anything cooking besides the fact that you got 6 months of vacation coming up or whatever?
We're about to get so much TST content. It's gonna be sick.
Dude.
After the drought, he's gonna be dropping videos every other day.
Could have used you this week for the NBA bit, man.
Yeah. We're gonna have infinite more, that's for sure.
All right, cool. So you got nothing. John, John, we'll send people over to momentumlabs.app. If you were here just for the So Rares, you get all those sweet projections. You guys still grinding out challenge information? Do you guys still have all, if they've got how to win 297 a night on the Top Shot challenges?
I'm pretty sure everything's different this year. And it's I don't know.
All right, sorry to bring that up. All day, you get some all day stuff over there. You break down pack EVs. Hey, that pack didn't sell out today.
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't, considering how hard
Which
they're
pack?
pushing it.
The football one. I don't know the football one. All right, cool. So TSC doesn't have anything. John doesn't have anything. Jeb, you just dropped a So Rare video.
Yeah, I just dropped the So Rare video. I'm starting a new series where we're targeting some buy lows and some sell highs. I'm already working on the next one. I'm going to try to be cranking these out at least once a week.
Who are we selling high on?
On my list this week, I had LeBron because he's sitting at $40. This guy, he has a.
LeBron. You give me another one. You can't give me another one. That's like
He's got
saying
a minutes cap and he's old as dirt.
that's like JFK being out on the FBI.
No, but he's shorting LeBron. I respect it, Jeb.
I respect the shorting LeBron, but it's coming from Jeb, which we have to.
Yeah.
Oh,
I say that in my video. But who are the other two?
Don't give us both,
Schroeder.
just one of them.
Dennis Schroeder was one of the other ones.
Ooh, he had a good game tonight too.
He's sitting at like 20. He's sitting at like $25 on Sorare, and it's like you can get better cards with that 25.
That's good.
You know
that
what?
is good.
You can spend more money on Giannis, but he'll give you less points than Dennis
maybe
Schroeder.
Maybe Giannis will be in the next video at this point.
No, Jeb's selling high on Schroeder and TST selling low on Giannis. That's what's going on.
Who we buying high, Jeb? That's what I want to know.
Tomorrow, just some programming stuff. We have the NBA bits back tomorrow and Friday at 9 a.m. on Friday afternoon. We have the Underdog Happy Hour makes its return after a week off. That'll be at 3 p.m. and then we'll have Live Before Lock at 5:30. TST, are you on Friday? I can never remember what day you actually do.
I'm supposed to be on Mondays, but
okay.
I don't think I've been on a Monday yet. And then Fridays when the lady doesn't plan things. And this Friday I will be there.
Oh, hell yeah. So TSC will be there on Friday. Maybe Ghost. I legit don't know. I don't know. I got to get my shit together. That'll be Friday at 5:30. And then just we're every Wednesday night. The 89 Cavs are back on Monday, starting next Monday too at 7 p.m., which is good. That's what we got going on. Appreciate everyone being here, but obviously, like, we're not done yet because we need a UFC. It's no longer the UFC Strike Minute, right? It's the UFC Minute.
I mean, we're gonna tie a little UFC strike because I got.
Are you gonna talk about boxing?
I got a nice little. Oh, dude, yeah, let's talk about boxing. We'll push that to the rest. Okay. Oh my God.